Welcome to Chapter 32 of The Good Earth. As always, I will begin with a brief synopsis of the chapter, followed by some key points to pay attention to, and then finish off with some big ideas that the author is looking at, as well as asking some questions that I think are important to consider as you read the chapter. After the soldiers leave, Wang Lung and his sons repair the house. Although they are able to put everything back in its place and repair all the physical damage, some things have changed that can't be repaired so easily. The wives of Wang Lung's sons are no longer able to tolerate each other. It becomes clear that they have completely different value systems, and there is no peace anymore in Wang Lung's house. Added to the problem between the wives is the problem of Wang Lung's youngest son. His youngest son now wants to join the army, partly because he found the soldier's life to be romantic and he looks up to the way that his cousin behaved, and partly because he has learned about freedom. Wang Lung doesn't understand freedom because, as far as he is concerned, he already is free because he owns the land and nobody tells him what to do with it. The final source of unrest for Wang Lung is Pear Blossom. Although he never thought of her in a sexual way before, he realizes that he is attracted to her. But this is problematic because it causes Lotus to be jealous of her, which increases his desire to interfere, which just causes more problems. One thing to pay attention to is the arguments used by Wang Long to deter his son from going to war. On the one hand, he thinks he can solve the problem by marrying him off and settling him down to a comfortable family life. But this time, he is up against wild romantic ideals. This is something new to Wang Long. When his son argues that he wants to make the land free, Wang Long has no concept of what he's talking about because to him the land is already free. Another thing to pay attention to is the way in which the women in Wang Lung's household are portrayed. Why do you think the author chooses to portray them this way? Wang Lung goes so far as to blame all of the troubles that he has at this point in his life on women. So one big idea here is the whole concept of freedom. Freedom is something that people talk about a lot, especially in democratic societies, and in fact, in the modern world, freedom and democracy are often put together in such a way as to make them mean the same thing. But are they really the same? Wang Lung states that he is free. Is he wrong? If he is wrong, which freedoms are being restricted? The right to free speech, the right to bear arms? Who is stopping him from exercising his freedom? On the other hand, what power does he have to enforce his freedoms? What kind of freedom is his son looking for? What freedoms does he not have? Who is stopping him from exercising them? Would Wang Lung's son's arguments be the same if he was a woman? What about if he was from a poor family? So what does freedom really mean? Where does it really come from? How do you increase freedom for some without decreasing freedom for others? If Wang Lung's son has to go fight someone to gain his freedom, who is he fighting? And if he has to fight them, isn't he restricting their freedoms?